G'day folks, Links here, and welcome back to Nomifactory. So I've just been tickling away at a couple of things in between episodes, mainly just I've upgraded some of the dynamos to reinforced. You'll notice I've not upgraded all of them. The reason being is we're going to stick an ender tank here to take some of the... So both the both the boilers are reinforced, but only 3 of the turbines are reinforced. Because if you remember, this is a 1:2 ratio. So I've upgraded both of these to reinforced so we can have 3 reinforced turbines, but I'm leaving this one as hardened for now, so then we can put a ender tank here to transport power to our drilling rigs, to our overworld drilling rig and miners when we get those built. Otherwise, I've got the MV extruder now. So as I mentioned in the last episode, the bolt extruder shape is awesome. You definitely want this to give you a 1:8 ratio of ingots to bolts and ingots to screws. But also, I got the pipe shape, which is just... there's no improvement on the ratio for this. It's just easier to batch craft. I've got the ring, which now takes it from a 1:1 ratio, 1:1 ingot to ring ratio to a 1:4 ratio, and I've got the small gear, which now takes us to a 1:1 ratio of ingots to small gears. So a small gear handcrafting recipe needs 2 ingots. Now we only need 1. So definitely improvements there. Added a few more drives to the ME network. Need to fill those remaining 4 slots. As you can see, we've already got 1 drive full. So the different colors. Red is full. Red is full of in terms of storage. Orange means that it's full in terms of types, because you can only have 63 item types per drive. Green is basically normal, so it's not full, or it's not full at all. And blue means the cell is completely empty. And basically the slots as they are here in the real world line up with these in the inventory. You can also press R on a cell and view its contents. So that's quite good. Now, I'm in the middle of batch crafting some circuits, some MV circuits, because we're going to need them, and also just throwing a load of ores through the big macerator. One config change that I just want to note that I've made overnight is I have decided to disable channels in Applied Energistics. So as you might recall, in the first video I said I had channels enabled. I have decided to disable them, which is the default in the pack. So if you were to download the pack right now, channels would be disabled. I enabled them because I wanted to have a little bit of a design challenge in AE. But A, I'm just feeling a bit lazy. But B, because channels are disabled by default, if I had them enabled in this playthrough, it wouldn't be representative of the experience of the pack, because there would be extra hurdles that I would have to... there'd be extra considerations that I would have to have around designing AE that, say, you wouldn't have to have if you were playing with default settings. I will still be building a big ME controller though, because it looks cool and I want it to be the focal point of our Applied Energistics room. But there's no requirement to actually build an ME controller. I'm fairly sure. Yeah, you don't even have to make it to operate it, according to the quest book. I don't actually know... Oh yeah, there we go. If you do... Yeah, so if you do, your network will actually consume less power. So there is a benefit to crafting these, but you only need 1. Like, you don't need to do a big multi-block. You don't need to do a big multi-block controller. Yeah, there we go. They've actually added a tooltip. I like that. That wasn't the case in 1.6, I don't think. I don't think that tooltip said that in 1.6. But yeah, so you still want to craft just 1, but your entire network could just plug into a single ME controller, because there's no channels enabled. But we're still going to make a big multi-plot one, because they look cool. That doesn't mean we won't be using subnets. There are still use cases for subnets, yeah, we'll run into those, or we'll deal with those as they come up. But yeah, there are still use cases for subnets for certain types of crafting. Now, what are we going to do today? I was going to do plastics today, but I think what I actually want to do is get more deep mob evolution stuff set up. We've not touched this in a little while, and we're going to start needing ender pearls soon. So what we want is we want the Enderman data model, which requires the blank data model, which we've got, ender pearls, an ender pearl, which we've got, but also requires extraterrestrial matter, which can be made from hellish matter and an ender pearl, and it can be made from overworldian matter, which can be made from overworldian matter and netherrack. But we wouldn't want to do this. This is horribly inefficient. So we're actually going to make one of the we're actually going to make one of the nether mobs, but which one? So blaze can give us blaze rods, sulfur, and magma blocks, which can be extracted into lava. Or sorry, chemical. I think it's chemical reacted into lava. We can also make the wither skeleton model, which gives us lead, and wither skeleton skulls. Don't think we're that hard up for lead right now. And gas tiers. The gas model might actually be worth it, actually, because we'll need silver for HV. HV motors need silver. And there's probably a few other things that need silver. So we might make the gas data model, which means we need a gas tier. I'm not sure if we've got one of those. We might have one in the chest. So the goal for today is don't stand on the steel pipe. The goal for today is we are going to make. Maybe I should just search for it. I thought I had a gas tier, but apparently not. Yeah, it doesn't look like that. Doesn't look like we have a gas tier. Right. I'm gonna go find a ghast in a minute. I'll spare you from that horrible search. Although getting around the Nether is a lot easier now that we have our jetpack. So basically, we want to craft. We want to get the Enderman data model, which will go through the ghast model to get the hellish matter. But we also want to get this thing. We want to get the loot fabricator. Now that we have MV circuits and energetic alloy, we can get the loot fabricator. And basically, the reason we want to get this is so we can process the pristine matter. So we already have a load of pristine zombie matter here, which can give us iron ingots. Which is nice. But we also will get pristine gas matter, which can give us silver ingots, and gas tiers, which gas tiers can be chemically reacted with water to make salt water, as well as make tiny piles of potassium dust. So that's oh nice. So yeah, that's obviously something that we will potentially want to look at. And also we want to get and then we'll use the hellish matter that comes out the gas model to craft the extraterrestrial matter for the Enderman model. And the Enderman model can give us ender pearls and emeralds. Ender pearls is basically what we're after right now. And once we have this, we can actually fully renewably automate pulsating polymer clay. So the only thing we're missing to automate pulsating polymer clay is resonant dust, which it's pulsating dust, and basically pulsating dust can be made from ender pearls and nether quartz. And we obviously already have nether quartz automated down here, but eventually we will move some of this setup. We'll probably move the clay setup and some other bits to a dedicated area that will do pulsating polymer clay automation. The other thing is we needed the recipe to make resonant clathrit from the nether quartz and the resin and ender, this is an MV recipe, so we had to wait for MV to get an MV chemical reactor. But once we get this, you just burn it to make pulsating dust. So, and then once we've got that, we will have combining that combines with clay and an alloy smelter, which we already have automated, and we'll have renewable pulsating polymer clay, which is the basis for infinite early game resources. So we will. So we're gonna work our way to the Enderman data model today, because we need to level that up to self-aware to give us the 30% chance of the pristine matter. And then the extraterrestrial matter, that can be used to make. We will need to use it to make end stone, because to make the end cake when we eventually want to go to the end. But we also will need it to make the shulker data model, which we will need to get diamonds. So and these will be what we use for power in the future. But for now, we are going to. So I've got a load of netherrack, and we're gonna make the ghast data model. So I'm gonna go find a ghast here, and then we'll be back. And we're back. That didn't take too long. Picked up some glowstone while I was in there as well, so might as well. So now we should. So now we're just missing the 7 hellish matter. So we should be able to do that. And then, can this actually be used for anything else decent? We can use it to make soul sand, blaze powder. Oh, we can use it to make gold, but it's gold from glowstone, which I don't know. That might not be worth it. But yeah, so we can definitely use it for that stuff. So there we go. We now have the ghast data model. So what we need to do is we're actually going to throw another couple of drawers on here. We're going to throw another couple of drawers on here. So basic drawer. Definitely. Right. Yeah, whatever, that'll do. So we need 2 drawers, because we will get some pristine ghast matter, not a huge... What the... Oh. Okay. Hitting G turns off the jetpack. And that didn't work. Don't be like me. Right, and then we can just rotate it with the wrench, can't we? Yeah. Right, so we want to get some... we want to get the... Well, actually, we don't need to pre-filter them. We can just shove the data model in. And then we can... We might actually have enough pulsating polymer clay here for... getting this up to self-aware. I'm not sure, we might not. So we'll let that go, and then what should happen is we set that to insert. We set that to insert. And it will... Oh, we got pristine on the first go. So we need the key, which I don't know where that... Oh, it's there. So we'll just lock these. And basically we just need to let that chug away now. So this takes 1,000 24-hour F per tick, so it's about 2 amps of MV, which is fine. These can produce up to 400 each. Yeah, and this produces 240. So we have more than enough power to leave that running. But yeah, basically we just need to leave that running for a bit now. We probably don't actually need to level this up to self-aware, in all honesty. We'll make a couple more basic drawers. Yeah, we probably don't need to level that one up to self-aware. What we'll do is we will shove that in there. We just want to get the extraterrestrial matter. So we'll leave that going for a bit, and let's look at the loot fabricator. So energetic alloy plates. Now, in case you didn't case you didn't know, you can hold shift and scroll on an item in the AE terminal to just pick up as much as you need. So shift scroll down picks up items, and shift scroll up puts them back. We also need 2 MV circuits, which I think we already have. A glass pane, which we already have. Dark steel machine hull, which is just that. That. And then we need 8 dark steel plates. And if we just go quickly shove them into our plate bender. And then we also need glass, and we also need a hopper. So that would be... So in an assembler, it's really nice. In an assembler, it's just a chest and 5 iron plates. Which is really good. So we're just going to do a chest and... oh no, we don't. No, let's not do wrought iron. That's a waste. We need more iron, I think. Actually, no, I've not moved all of the ingots out of the other chest yet. So I am slowly emptying these chests. It always feels really good when you can get a load of... it always feels really good when you can get a load of stuff and just shift-click it in AE. So another thing you can do is if you have a load of the same item in your inventory, you can actually shift double-click, and that will put all of the same item into your into the network. And if we go over here, we should have everything we need. We should have everything we need now to make the loot fabricator once we put the... once we do the... that and that. Oh, no, it's... yeah, circuit 1. Yeah, 20 seconds. Give that a minute. So we should be able to put you and you into there. And then we... oh, we don't have MV circuits. Oh, I thought we did. Okay, I'm just going to go create a few MV circuits, and we'll be back. And we're back. So we've got our loot fabricator, which is also a quest. So we shove that in there. Right. So this thing, basically, we just shove it down. Just put it there for now. And what you do with this is it basically just makes loot from pristine matter. So how's our gas model is advanced. I think we might actually have enough to... I'll leave it in there while we craft the... I think we might have enough to make the Enderman data model now. Let's see. Can we make 7? We can. There we go. Enderman data model. This is what we want. So we will take this out. We'll put that in. And this is... yeah, this is 2048. This is really going to push our power. In fact, I have a suspicion we're going to run out of power. Yeah, we're running out of power. That's unfortunate. Okay. So we're going to need a power upgrade before we can actually do this, which is unfortunate. But I guess what we can do is we can look at how this works. So basically, you just shove your pristine matter in there. You select the item you want, and it will make it. And basically, it just makes it out of nothing. Now, the other interesting thing is, though, it will actually remember which one you selected. I don't know if that works across different types, though. So if I put that in there, and we select iron, we now get 12 iron. But if I put that in there, no, it doesn't. So, but yeah, we can now basically... I mean, obviously, this is being hand-fed, which is not ideal. We need to automate it. But yeah, basically, we have a loop fabricator now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these, because these have massive, massive buffers, so I'm going to let these just charge. And I think we might actually put off, doing the steam ender tank for now and grab and upgrade the last turbine dynamo. This still will only give us 1600 RF per tick, which is still short of the 2048 we need. So we are going to have to make another pair of we have to make another set of dynamos, another one of you, and another two turbines. But what we should be able to do now is I'll go away and I'll get the power upgraded so we can run that Enderman data model, and then I'm gonna leave it for a bit to level. I'm gonna leave it for a bit to level and build up some pristine Enderman matter, so then we can get Ender pearls. And then I think what we're gonna do then is look at getting the pulsating polymer clay renewably automated. So if we have a look at the processing lines tab, I know I said yesterday we were going to do plastics today, but we'll probably do plastics in the next episode. We'll most likely do plastics in the next episode because I definitely want cheaper circuits. So we'll probably do a circuit progression in the next episode. But basically, we want this ticking away in the background, though, because it's going to be quite slow until we can scale it up. So we want it ticking away in the background. But basically, what we want... So we're just going to checkbox that and checkbox that because we've got those. So basically, what we want is... We want to get ender pearls, which we will then turn into resonant ender, which I think is just done in an extractor. Yeah, that's just done in an extractor. And then we want resonant clafrit, which comes from nether quartz and resonant ender. That goes into a furnace to make pulsating dust, which will then go into an alloy furnace to make the pulsating polymer clay. So that's basically what we want. We already have most of the machinery for this. So what we will end up doing is we will end up relocating... Actually, no, we won't relocate this because we're getting a bunch of stuff that we're getting a bunch of stuff we actually do want to keep. So what we'll likely do is we'll rebuild this setup. So we'll build a replica of this setup. So basically it'll be stone to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to dust, dust to clay. Is basically what we'll do. So we'll rebuild that over here somewhere. And it's going to be a bit spaghetti because I don't want to build the whole thing as MV, because I really don't want to build that many MV circuits. So we're not going to build the whole thing as MV. The only thing we're going to build as MV is the chemical reactor and maybe the furnace. Because if I just take this out of here, yeah, this is only ULV, so we could build this as an MV furnace and power it with LV. Because at MV it would only use 16 EU. So we'll most likely build an MV furnace, because this is quite slow. So this will go down to 3 seconds at MV. So we'll build an MV furnace to keep the nether quartz production going. But yeah, so, and then basically we'll want to do the same. So what we'll want to do over here is basically the same. We'll also want to replicate the glass setup. So basically it'll be stone to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to glass, glass to nether quartz. But yeah, we want to keep these setups kind of as they are, because obviously we use glass for other things, but we'll see. We'll see. But that's going to be our goal for today, is getting automated pulsating polymer clay in its own dedicated setup. So we're going to wait for this. We're going to wait for this to fill up, and then I can we can set the Enderman model going again. So I'm going to go away and craft the dynamos that we need to get us over the 2048 RF per tick line, and then we'll be back. And we're back. So got the upgrade done. These aren't reinforced. I will make them reinforced at some point, but these altogether are producing 2080 EU per tick, but the limit on this cable is 2048, and because this is refilling, because I took a bunch of stacks out to make some fused quartz, we are currently limping along on power. As you can see, this is constantly stopping and starting, but it is limping along. We have our first piece of pristine enderman matter, which is 8 ender pearls right there. But I think what we're going to do is I'm probably going to go take a break for a bit, because this is going to take a little while to level up, and this is going to take a little while to level up. So I'm going to go take a break for a bit and come back, and basically this will have leveled up a bit. This will have leveled up, hopefully, a bit. We have quite a lot of pulsating polymer clay left, but yeah, we want to get this pristine chance up. And then what we'll do is, once this is leveled up a bit, we will look at building our renewable pulsating polymer clay setup. And basically, one of the big reasons that we want to get renewable ender pearls is we want to look at getting vibrant alloy cable. So vibrant alloy we can make now, I believe. It's just that it requires ender pearls. It requires ender pearls and energetic alloy. So it's not cheap for us to make right now, but we definitely want to get this because vibrant alloy will do 8,192 RF per tick on the cable, which is an amp of EV. So then we won't be limping along as much. But yeah, we definitely need to get these up to reinforced and get these up to vibrant alloy cable. So for now, I'm gonna let this limp along a little bit. We still only have one, but we're just about halfway to leveling up to advanced. But yeah, basically I'm gonna let this limp along while I go do some other stuff, and I will come back when we're ready to build out the automated pulsating polymer clay. I have realized I was sort of umming and ahhing about whether I would tear this setup down. I don't want to tear this down because this isn't just automating nether quartz. This is actually also automating Certus quartz and quartzite. So definitely don't want to tear this down just yet. So I'm gonna go away, and I'll see you guys in a bit. And we're back. So I left the data model grinding for a bit, and it got 17 pristine matter, which I was able to use to make a load of ender pearls, and I invested all those ender pearls into vibrant alloy. So vibrant alloy unlocks a lot of useful things for us. First and most obviously, it unlocks vibrant alloy energy conduits. So these carry 8192, and I have now upgraded all the dynamos to reinforce, so this is outputting about 2400 RF per tick. So this will comfortably carry that and should be able to keep powering everything else. In fact, I should be able to put this in here and it shouldn't limp along anymore now. So that's really nice, but it also unlocks ender fluid conduits. These are absolutely lovely. So these are a direct upgrade on the pressurized fluid conduit. So for each pressurized fluid conduit, you get 8 ender fluid conduits. And you need 2 vibrant alloy wire, so that's 1 ingot. 1 vibrant alloy ingot for every 8 ender fluid conduits. Now the lovely thing about these is they can carry multiple fluids inside the same conduit, and can also use multiple channels as well, like the item conduits. So I've set up a gas collector and a centrifuge here to feed the blast furnace. And basically we're now feeding oxygen and nitrogen into the blast furnace, and we have filters to send oxygen into one input hatch and nitrogen into another, and that basically knocks 7 seconds off of each vibrant alloy conduit. I believe it's the same for energetic alloy and aluminium as well. And because we've got oxygen in there now, we can actually make steel with the we can actually make steel in the electric blast furnace now, which I believe is actually faster, which should be faster than the primitive blast furnaces. But if we throw you in there, we now have 13 seconds, which is brilliant. The really nice thing is about normal mode, I can't remember if this is the case in hard mode, Nomifactory or not, but you don't need an assembler to actually make the MV input hatches, you just need an MV machine hull and glass. So I upgraded from an LV hatch to MV hatches to get double the storage. So now we'll have 32 buckets. Unfortunately, this will clog on oxygen, but I'm just going to void that manually for now. So I can basically just empty the hatch, and then just put the tank into a crafting grid to void the tank, because we're not really interested in oxygen right now. We still have loads of coking coal here, so we can use that in those blast furnaces. And I've also made a load more item conduits as well, because I already had a load of pulsating iron. It's just need a load more item conduits for the next setup, for the pulsating polymer clay setup. So now that we've got vibrant, I need to get more vibrant alloy energy conduits, because obviously I need to run power to the I need to run power over to the new pulsating polymer clay setup. But yeah, for now, let's see, we got 6 there already. But for now, I just wanted to quickly show that yeah, we are in a better place now. I don't know. We are still struggling though. Which is real. I mean, we are drawing power in other places, because obviously this is drawing power. That's not. I don't think we're drawing power over here anymore either. So we are actually drawing. We are drawing power here, which is probably what's causing it to struggle. If I just turn off the blast furnace, does that now fix the problem? Yeah, there we go. That's... oh no. Yeah, that's not much. Oh, actually, there might be batteries that are still recharging in here. I think there's still batteries recharging. Ah, this centrifuge is still running, but that's only a ULV recipe. I don't know why this is struggling so much. Turn that off. Yeah, I don't know why this is. I don't know why this is struggling so much. Unless there's something I'm missing, because these are all running, and they're all outputting at max. They're all outputting max power. I think I need a capacitor bank. I think I definitely need a capacitor bank, even if it's just a basic one. Only has so the transmission capacity, the power transfer cap of a capacitor bank is a multiple of its divided by 1,000. So this can only do 1,000, this can only do 5,000, and that can do 25,000. But these can be built as multi-blocks, so you can basically chain a bunch of them together and get increased transmission. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build 5 of them, which will give us 5,000 RF per tick transmission, and it'll also give us a 5 million RF buffer as well, which should hopefully be fine. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm getting aware of the length of this video, is I'm going to go away and quickly craft the capacitor bank, which will hopefully fix the power limping issue that we're having right now, where this is still struggling a bit. And then I'll get the machines crafted for the automated pulsating polymer clay setup, and then we'll go through building that setup. So I'll see you guys in a bit. And just to quickly show you, so yeah, these can be built basically you can just do that and place them on top of each other. This can basically be in almost any shape. I'm fairly sure this can be in almost any shape. I'm not sure what the size limitations are, but typically I just end up building a big cube or something similar. But yeah, hopefully this will give us a nice big buffer at some point. But what we'll probably do for now to let that buffer actually build up. Actually, we'll just let this limp along because it's only got 46 polymer clay left. But yeah, once that's done, this should build up pretty nicely. And then the really nice thing is when there is actually I/O happening. So if we just set that to never active, you can see the I/O there. Now, interestingly enough, we're not getting 2000. We're not getting 2048, which is really weird. Which is really weird. I don't. It's because we should be getting like 2400 out of these. The only thing I can think of is that this setup isn't actually keeping it full enough. So large aluminium. So that'll do 1200 per tick, which should be which isn't actually. Oh no. It's literally just enough. These three are 1200 per tick. I wonder if we actually need to do huge pipes instead, which we should have more than enough aluminium for. Huge aluminium. What are we missing? Oh, apparently. Oh, it needs double plates. That's awful. All right. If I do, we probably only need a couple of them to be huge pipes. Probably just the ones covering the first two turbines. They're probably the only ones that need to be huge pipes. So if we do that and that, and then we make sure that the fluid can only go one way, and then we should be good now. I don't know if this is actually gonna. Oop. I don't know if this is actually gonna help though. I don't quite know what's wrong here, because this should definitely be getting a lot more IO. But anyway, I'm gonna go away and do what I originally said I was gonna do and get all the machines together for the pulsating polymer clay automation, and then we'll come back and get that built out. But as you can see, it's like nearly full, or it's over half full now. But yeah, I am very curious as to why we're not getting the expected IO out of these. It's very weird. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Oh, actually, I do wonder. No, hang on. This isn't. No, hang on. This isn't right. The 1-to-2 ratio is gone, I think. Because that's outputting 400. And this is... Oh, this is consuming 200. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's really weird. Yeah, so I might need to... I might just need to make all these huge pipe. Make this one a huge pipe as well. But yeah, so anyway, I will be back in a bit once I've got all the machines for the PPC setup. And we're back. So, I have a very basic setup here. Well, actually, it's not very basic. I have a feeling this isn't optimal, but it'll do for now. And it is super slow. But again, this just needs to passively run in the background. We won't be touching on DML, or DME for a little bit, but we need to automate its core ingredient, which is the pulsating polymer clay. So there is a component missing from this. We actually need to take this simulation chamber and this loop fabricator and move them over there, but we won't. I'll do that off camera. But basically, the way that this works is that we get cobblestone from the infinite cobblestone generator, and we also get infinite water from the end of wire. And basically what we have is we turn the cobblestone into gravel, then into sand, then sand into dust, and then dust into clay, like we've already covered before. We then output the clay into a alloy smelter, and then we come around the other side and we do the same. So we do gravel, sand, we smelt the sand to glass, we electrolyze the glass to nether quartz. It gets output into this drawer, and then a conduit takes it from the drawer on the white channel and inserts it into an MV chemical reactor. So the rest of this is LV, but this is MV, and what we've got here is a LV transformer in step up mode. So to put it into step up mode, you just right click it with a soft mallet, so it defaults to step down mode when you place it. But if you you'll know if it's in step up mode because the dots will look like this and it will say step up in the tooltip. But basically we need, because this isn't even full MV, it's a 75 EU per tick recipe, so it's just under, it's like 2.5 amps of LV. So this makes the resonant clathorite, which then gets put into a furnace, and then the furnace puts it into a drawer, and then we take it out of the drawer on the purple channel and insert it into the alloy smelter, which is as pulsating dust. Now the resonant ender comes from this extractor, and we basically just put ender pearls in here. So ender pearls will come in here, and that is how to, well, that is automated pulsating polymer clay, but it's not renewable right now. I've got all these ender pearls, which I made manually from the pristine matter from our Enderman model, but this is not currently renewable, or at least it's not unless I manually shove stuff in. So basically, what we need to do is we actually need to, in order to make this renewable, we need to, or to make it a self-sustaining loop, we actually need to hook it up to our loop fabricator and simulation chamber. So, you know what, we will do this now. So, I've maxed out the Enderman data model that we have. It's now self-aware, which means it has a 30% chance to produce pristine matter. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and this. Obviously the downside of doing this is we won't have these to use for other purposes, but that's fine. We'll build more. But for now, we need to figure out where this goes. So this can be powered by EU or by so GregTech cables can power RF machines as well. You can actually, so something else I actually did off camera is I couldn't figure out the power issue with these turbines, with these turbine dynamos, and I got annoyed with it. So I built two GregTech MV steam turbines, and I'm using a GregTech cable to hook them into this capacitor bank, and that seemed to make my problems go away. So yeah. I did, however, have to switch to conduits because these were consuming steam at a decent rate. So I had to switch the pipes out for conduits, and I did actually have to put a speed upgrade into the conduits as well, to have everything keep up. So what we want to do is this. So we need to extract on, so this is set to extract on cyan, and it needs to, I've dropped the simulation chamber, and now I can't pick it up. There we go. Right. Reconnect you and you. Right, so, basically, we just need to pop the simulation chamber down somewhere. Ideally, where it's not going to be in the way, or ideally where it's What I could do is actually put it maybe here. Now, it doesn't actually auto-connect to the GregTech cable, so I'm going to have to connect that manually. But the way I can do that is by breaking it, switching to the wire cutters, connecting that, right-clicking on the cable like that, and as you can see, it's getting power from the GregTech cable. GTCEu, the GTCEu power uses the Forge Energy API. So these cables can provide power to any Forge Energy compatible blocks, pretty much. So which are basically things that accept RF or some form of RF. Ender IO doesn't use RF as a unit, but it is all still Forge Energy. Anyway, so now the problem is this is actually quite power hungry. So I'm probably going to have to. This data model is quite power hungry. So I'm probably going to have to actually swap this to a 16 amp buffer. It's an 8 amp right now. I'm probably going to have to... Yeah, the chemical reactor is now out of power. And so is the... while this charges. But I don't know what the... Yeah, I don't know what the... I don't know what the draw rate on this is while it's charging. So we'll just quickly let that charge, and then everything should come back to life. But yeah, I'll swap this out for a 16 amp off camera. I really just don't want to make 16 amp conductive iron wire, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. So in theory, what should happen over here is... Actually, I'll tell you what. That was totally a waste, but we have renewable power, so it doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them here for now. And basically, we're just going to do this really quick and dirty so you can see it work, and then I'll make it pretty later. So these are powered. These are just being powered directly off the Vibrant Alloy cable now. And we need to put the Enderman data model into there. And then what we need to do is basically... That was not the right block. And then what we need to do is come over here and we need to insert the pulsating polymer clay. So that's getting inserted from our drawer now. And then we actually need to... and then what we actually need to do is we need to take the storage drawers we already have over here with the pristine matter. We need to take these. So if you break us in Nomifactory, if you break a storage drawer, and be careful, this is not the case in every pack, but it is in Nomifactory. If you break a storage drawer, you will get a taped. Yeah, you'll get these taped drawers. So if you look at it, it has basically the icon is basically tape across the front, and it says content sealed within. Unfortunately, I actually don't know which one is which now, so we're gonna have to sort of figure this out. I actually need to replace that, but yeah, that is something really nice that they have done with Nomi. I believe it is a storage drawers feature. It's not Nomi specific. It's obviously they've configured it to work this way. Normally in storage drawers, if you want to break a drawer, you would use packing tape. You would craft the packing tape, use it on the drawer, and then break the drawer. Nomifactory basically just does that automatically for you, so you don't have to sort of, you know, craft you don't have the extra step. So, what we're going to do is we need to insert ender pearls into... Just throwing stuff all over the place, aren't I? Do that, because I don't, because it doesn't look pretty. Yeah, this obviously is not going to be permanent. I need to figure out... I might go in and do a bit of Googling to get some inspiration as to how to actually make this, A, a bit more optimal, and B, tidier. But basically, but I won't bother doing that until we actually, you know, move into our permanent home. So we need to extract from the loot fabricator on, we just do say, I don't know, pink. So ender pearls will come out of here. And ender pearls will come out of there. So if we do, we put that there, that's the extraterrestrial matter. That is the pristine matter. So, what will happen now is we need to do a different color. We'll do yellow. So we'll do yellow, and this will extract on yellow. And then we'll do insert on yellow, I guess. We are not having much success here. I think we're drawing too much power. Yeah, we're drawing too much power, of course we are. Oh, no, we're not making enough steam, apparently. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to sort out these power issues and whatnot off camera. For now, let's just chug along. So, what will happen is we'll extract on channel yellow into these drawers. And that will basically... Why is that not extracting the pristine matter? Ah, because I've set that to extract instead of... Sorry, yeah, let's do that. And then we'll use light blue for the... we'll use magenta to insert into the loot fabricator. We'll select ender pearl. And what will happen now is the ender pearls will come out. And they will come out on pink. And basically we will insert into here on pink. And there we go. So this is now looping and basically self-sustaining. Obviously it is struggling for power, unfortunately. But yeah, this is pretty much looping now. Yeah, I need to sort this as well. So So basically what's happening here is the alloy, the chemical reactor is... the chemical reactor is basically filling up the alloy smelter. This would be solved with a robot arm. So what we'll do is we will actually create... we will go craft a robot arm. I don't think I've got any spare. Can just be an LV one. So robot arms in GTCU are actually pretty neat. So what do we need? We need a piston. Yeah, no, robot arms in GTCU are actually pretty neat. They've got a whole bunch of different options, but basically we put it on the machine. It will be... So it'll be set to... It'll be set to keep exact. But we actually need to do stuff. Now, this probably won't work, actually. We'll insert into the first thing. Yeah, this... So that's set to import. And then it basically just needs to do... so it's import, keep exact. Now, we need to go craft an item filter for this to actually work. I'm fairly sure. So, we should have a... So, if we go craft an item filter... no, I want... I need zinc. Or I need zinc foil. I'll tell you what, let's just do like 16 ingots worth of foil because I'm going to be making a lot of filters. So we just shove that in there. Yeah, we seem to be struggling for power, which is unfortunate. So I'm probably... I'm fairly sure that these Great Tech generators are actually more efficient than the steam dynamos. I don't know. But basically what will happen is eventually this will all clog up, and then we'll be good. But yeah, what we need is we need a robot arm to basically limit the amount of clay that goes into the alloy smelter. So if we do that, so I'm fairly sure what should happen now is I really love the way item filters work in Nomifactory CEu. Really do love how the item filters work. So how does this work? Ignore damage, ignore MBT. So keep exact. In this mode, the cover will keep the specified amount of items in the left click or right click on the filter item. Use shift left clicking. That was very annoying. Right, so there we go. So this will now keep 64 clay in and only 64 clay. The other slot will be reserved for the pulsating dust. We don't have to worry about the pulsating dust clogging both slots because this makes clay every second or something. And this is like every... yeah, this is like 6 seconds and then another 3 seconds. So we're good here. This should fill up pretty quickly because the alloy smelter produces 4 pulsating polymer clay per cycle. I've also used an MV alloy smelter because the recipe was only like 7 EU per tick, so overclocking to MV would still keep it within LV. But yeah, so basically what will happen now, so this is, aside from the power issue, this is completely self-sustaining. So what we'll do is before we wrap the video, is we'll just go through start to finish. So the Enderman data model is run and hopefully produces pristine matter. The pristine matter goes into the drawer and then it gets taken out of the drawer into the loop fabricator, which turns it into ender pearls. The ender pearls are then extracted via the conduit and sent into the extractor, where they are then turned into resonant ender. The resonant ender is sent into the chemical reactor, and that provides the first half of the recipe for resonant clafrit. The other half is nether quartz. So nether quartz so we take cobblestone and turn it into gravel. We then turn the gravel into sand. We then turn the sand into glass. We then electrolyze the glass into nether quartz. It then goes into the drawer. It's then taken out of the drawer through this conduit into the chemical reactor, and that provides the other half of the resonant clafrit recipe. The resonant clafrit then goes into the alloy smelter, into the electric furnace, where it is smelted into pulsating dust and put into this drawer. We then extract out of this drawer on purple and insert into the alloy smelter, and that is the first half of pulsating polymer clay. To get the other half, which is clay, we do cobble to gravel, gravel to sand, sand to dust, and then dust and water to make clay. Those two put together give us 4 pulsating polymer clay per 1 per 1 clay and per 1 pulsating dust. We get 4 pulsating polymer clay. That will then build up in this drawer, and it is extracted from this drawer and sent back to the beginning of the loop to allow the Enderman data model to continue running and continue producing ender pearls. So this is completely closed. And what we will do eventually, when we can make numismatic dynamos, is we will actually, out of curiosity, can numismatic can you I don't think you can put, yeah, you can't put ender pearls into numismatic dynamos. That's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, this will basically, this is basically self-sustaining, minus the power issue. This is a self-sustaining closed loop. This will just keep going until the pulsating polymer clay drawer fills up, in which case it will then just back up and clog up, which is fine. And then what we can do is we can use the pulsating polymer clay to, for now, probably just manually feed another simulation chamber to get pristine matter for other mob types. So I know this has been a really long video. I know this has been quite a long video, so I will quickly wrap the episode here. But yeah, so we can see this is working now. But yeah, basically, this is the most important early game resource that you really need to get automated, is pulsating polymer clay, because it is key to all of the deep mob learning stuff. And basically, deep mob learning is your gateway to infinite early game resources. And it's also your gateway to the next generation, or to the next step in renewable power, which is to replace steam with numismatic dynamos powered by diamonds. We're still a bit of a way off that, though, I think. We can make vibrant alloy now, which is all you need for numismatic dynamos. So basically, you make the numismatic dynamo, and then you have to put this lapidary calibration in to allow it to burn diamonds. But we'll cover that in a future episode. So if you've made it this far, I thank you very much for watching. I know this has been a very long episode, but I do want to go in depth with these sort of automation setups, and some of this is new to me as well. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day.